So let's talk about Northwest Florida, why people are wanting to move this way and why others want to leave. Wait, somebody wants to leave? Well, anyway, yes, we are going to go over that. So if you want to know why people are coming and just wanting to get out of here, stick around. We got the information coming right at you. What's up, everybody? This is Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group right here in beautiful Destin-Fort Walton Beach area. If this is your first time to our channel, we do tons and tons of videos about everything you need to know about our area. Now, as a military vet, 14 years, and now a military spouse, I've moved so many places. Oh, so many places. And every time I move somewhere, there's always such a lack of information of where to move to and what to anticipate. That's why we created this channel for you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're notified every single time we got a new video coming out. Now, honestly, we get tons of phone calls, emails, texts from people that want to know what it's like to eat, sleep, work, play, you know, have fun, drink here in our area, and we absolutely love it. So if you are moving here, got some questions, need some help, please contact myself, my team here, give us a call, text, email, heck, shoot us that little paper airplane. Whatever you got to do, we got your back when coming here to the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area. So let's talk about moving it here to the Emerald Coast. Where is the Emerald Coast? Well, it's in Northwest Florida, which you probably already figured out. But we classify that, locals do, from Pensacola all the way down to Panama City Beach. That's our beautiful Emerald Coast area. We're best known in this area for the emerald colored water. Emerald Coast. Makes sense, right? Of course, we got that white sandy beaches that are just flanked by forest on the other side. It's not quite condo city around here, at least for the most part, comparatively to like South Florida. It's just absolutely gorgeous, relaxing area to be in. So that should be it, right? Why are people wanting to move here? Well, first and foremost, it's the cost of living. Cost of living is at least average, if not less, than certain areas throughout the United States. If you watch some of our cost of living videos, you'll notice that we're really right around the average, maybe a little bit more, depending upon which community you move to here on the Emerald Coast. So cost of living could be good, but that's also going to be comparative of where you're moving from. If you're moving from, you know, LA in California, obviously this is going to be a significant difference in your cost of living. Now, another reason people are wanting to move here is the relaxed atmosphere and just good people. As I mentioned before, I'm from a military background and moved every 1 to 2 years for 14 years straight. It was exhausting, right? But one of the places I loved the most was coming to this area, and it's hard to explain, but in here we have 4 or 5 military installations just throughout here. Because of that, it really helps give this diverse people from all different cultures mixed in with the Northwest Florida, which is pretty much lower Alabama. So we get this southern charm sort of thing all put together. And because of it, it's just a really nice atmosphere to be around. I've witnessed nothing like it in my travels all around the world. Next one is why are people moving here is because of job relocation. We get a lot of that. As I mentioned before, 5, 6 military installations around here. People are moving in and out every single year all the time. So if you're wondering, no, it's too much in capacity, absolutely not. People are transient through this area just constantly because of that. Not only that, but because of the military here, there's lots of military contractors. So there's a lot of job opportunities for military contractors as well. And they keep moving in and out as well to support the military here. Obviously, hospitality is a big one as well. This is a huge vacation area, and it's because it's amazing. You've got the beaches, the vibe, everything out here, and of course the beautiful white sandy beaches and the condos and all the stuff going on here. So hospitality is huge. We do get seasonal workers come in. Surprisingly enough here, we do have seasons where people are coming in. So what's the hot season for hospitality? Well, it's when it warms up, right? No, just kidding. It's right when spring break kicks off, which is mid to late March, all the way until pretty much kids go back to school, September time frame typically. And that's where we're gonna get most of the influx of tourism here in our area. Now, one other thing that's been a new thing that has happened since COVID is a lot of jobs got to a point to where they could telework and there was no need for them to come back to a specific office. That's pretty awesome because now you can talk to your employer, pick up your computer and move anywhere with a good internet connection. And now you're still getting paid exactly what you would have in, say, a bigger city, and you can move down here and still have that same sort of employment and get something really nice. I'm kind of jealous that you're able to do that. But I've met and helped a lot of people that have moved here because of that. So if you're not thinking, hey, I can't move to Florida, that's one thing that you may be able to talk to with your employer. But teleworking, yep, we're getting a lot of people being able to do that. As I mentioned before, we also get to that beach vibe and that vacation vibe. So if people are moving here to have that consistently throughout the year. So if you are kind of feeling down and you're like, man, I just want to feel like let loose for a little bit, just hop in your car, take a 5, 15, 30-minute drive down to the beach, walk the beach with all the vacationers. You'd be surprised how much that just like brings you up to see everybody else around you. They're just like in the vacation, you kind of get into that vibe. It's pretty nice. Now, next is if you like fishing, boating, this is a fantastic area to do so. Destin was actually featured a couple of times in Boating Magazine to be in some of the best boating in the entire state of Florida. We've got Crab Island out there if you'd like to do that. There's tons of fishing, there's deep sea fishing, there's tours. Of course, you can go out and see the dolphins, go snorkeling, scuba diving. There's tons of things to do around the water when the season and everything starts to speed up. And it's just absolutely gorgeous out there just to be out anyway. Let's also talk about the weather. People like Northwest Florida because it's not as devastatingly hot as South Florida. As a northerner coming from New York, yeah, it was nice for it to kind of cool down. Now, obviously I've been here long enough where I've gotten used to it. So now 40, 45, 55 degrees feels very, very cold to me now, which is crazy. But in any case, we do have pretty good weather all throughout. It's mostly sunny most of the time. And as far as temperature is concerned, we do have about 4 months where it can get down into the 30s sometimes, but consistently it's around 40s to mid 50s through the coldest parts of the year. When is that? Typically towards December, late December, all the way until about mid-March. Not only that, people move here because there's some great investment opportunities as well. You know, there's Tim as a real estate agent, right? Yeah, well, there are. That's one of the reasons that I specifically moved here 5, 6 years ago, well, moved back here, I guess, is because of the military crowd and the amount of transients throughout here. The rental market was amazing to be an owner, and just the quality of rentals and the amount of money for that specific thing. Not only that, but there's also vacation rentals and investment opportunities there. This area is growing so much and so fast that it's just such a great time to get into, even if you're purchasing a house to resell it later when you decide to get out of here, even if you're in the military. It's such a great opportunity to capitalize on so many investment opportunities throughout the entire Emerald Coast. All right, so we talked about the great things. Those are easy, right? So let's talk about why people are leaving, right? Number one, hey, it's a real estate channel, right? Housing prices, they're rising. I'm not just talking about housing prices to purchase, I'm talking about rents as well. They seem to go up right around the same time. So housing costs are going up, and because of that, it's forcing a lot of people to go. Rents keep hiking up, and those that can't afford to purchase and have to rent either have to pay or move. And there's just not a lot out here. A lot of people that are renting do contact us, even though we can't help you necessarily with the rental part of the market. We give you the best opportunities to succeed, but it's not easy. and you really have to be proactive to get a lower rental place around here. Unfortunately, that's been the case for quite some time. Next, it's becoming too crowded, according to some people. And without the change of infrastructure, the traffic is awful. Certain times a year, it just, I book on a tape, they don't have tapes, it's through your phone now, but Audible, I'll throw that on in the car, and just sit there because I'm like, all right, well, I'm in Fort Walton, it's this time of day, all right, it's gonna take me twice the amount of time to get from here to here, right? And because there's bodies of water all throughout here, you have like 2 different ways that you can get around traffic if you can, or you're just stuck in it. So they are continuing to build out the infrastructure. If you've been in Miramar Beach for the last decade, they've been doing road work for that amount of time. At least it seems that way. But now they're kind of building it out, and you ask me, my personal humble opinion, it's still not enough to mitigate that. In downtown Destin, there's just not much to do about that unless you rerouted it around, which they've been talking about doing. But yes, it is crowded, but it's also a vacation town. So depending upon where you're at, it is getting a little bit crowded, which is why people might want to leave. People will leave because they think it's too hot. If you don't like humidity, this is not a place to come. So it is very humid. We're talking somewhere between 80 to 90 in the summertime all the time. Even in the wintertime, it doesn't really dry out that much. So a 45 to 55 degree temperature with that humidity feels so much colder than it actually is. I just thought that I got used to the temperature and I'm just a big baby about it, but no. Yeah, the humidity does make it a little bit worse. Talking about the humidity as an extreme, I just want to tell you a quick story. So in the military, I actually got to work in upstate New York with the what they call C-130s with skis on them. And they would go ahead and resupply in Antarctica, like South Pole Station and all different places down in Antarctica. And then they would also do some work in the Arctic Circle in the north. But I remember that Antarctica is one of the most driest continents on Earth. So you'd go down there and be like -20. Of course, you get used to this, and I know that sounds terrible. It kind of was. But you go down there and then -20, you're like, oh, okay, I kind of get used to this. It's cold, but it seems bearable. And then we'd go in the other season, go to the Arctic Circle. And I remember being up in Cambridge Bay, which is in Canada, up in the Northwest Territory, in the Arctic Circle, getting out -20 degrees. And I remember walking just around the perimeter of the plane coming in, my face was beet red. Why? It's because of the humidity. The humidity made it so much colder. Oh, I'll never forget that. Anyway, going back. If people are also leaving this area because there's really no change in elevation, I mean, relatively speaking. There's a couple of hills here and there, but there's really no big elevation change. So if you like the mountains and the hills or something like that, this wouldn't necessarily be a good place for you. People also say that there's not enough to do. Now, if you ask me, there's plenty to do. But some people that are coming from like a big city, like New York City or Chicago or something like that, they're within blocks of going to like a musical or going to see a show or something like that. We don't really have that here unless you're willing to travel. So 5 hours away, you have Jacksonville. Tallahassee has some good things. Locally, we do have some things out in Pensacola as well as Panama City. But for the most part, if you're looking for like big shows and things like that, you have to go out to Mobile, places like that in order to see that. So if you're really looking for that sort of big city culture, it doesn't exist here in Northwest Florida. And that being said, the last thing why people are leaving and things are really spread out. Now, if you ask somebody in Texas if this is spread out, they're going to laugh at you. But people, again, it's all relative, right? That things are pretty spread out. There's not a really good public transportation system. Again, if you're coming from some place that does, like a medium to big size city, there's really not much for you to be able to get around. So no matter where you're going, you better have a car to get to where you need to go. All right, well, that's all I got for you for why people are moving here and why others want to leave. If you got any questions about anything I mentioned here, go ahead and leave them here in the comments below. And of course, if you are moving to this area, you got some questions, need some help, give us a call, text, email, find us on social media, whatever you got to do. we got your back when moving here to the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area. Again, I'm Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group, and we'll see you in our next video. Take care.